This one single strategy has printed me millions of dollars, and I'm going to expose the entire system, the entire strategy in this video. So all you have to do is copy the exact steps, step by step, and you can easily start making anywhere between $300 to $1,000 every single day like clockwork. Now let me debunk a couple things. This strategy will not take you years to learn. This is something that if you follow the exact steps I give you, you can start making money today. This strategy does not take a lot of time at all. Most of the time, as soon as you hop into the trade, you can be done with the trade within 4 minutes. This strategy also has an extremely high win rate. You're not going to win every single time, but it has a very, very high win rate. And it's not the type of strategy that you trade and risk $1,000 just to make $10. This risk to reward ratio is absolutely amazing with a strategy of this high win rate. You can also use this strategy on any pair. If you want to trade Forex, if you want to trade stocks, if you want to trade crypto, if you want to trade futures, this strategy kills it across the board. I know this strategy sounds like it's too good to be true, and it can be if you do not follow the exact checklist that I give you guys in this video. You cannot skip a single step. You cannot skip a single part of this video. You need to learn and understand and follow every single rule for this strategy or it will not work. But if you follow everything exactly how I lay it out, this thing can not just change your financial future, but everyone around you financial future as well. Let's get started. All right, so here we are on the charts. This is the only checklist that you need. If you can follow this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step rule book, this thing will absolutely kill it for you. Like I said, this works across the board. This will work on gold. This will work on NAS 100. This will work on crypto, stocks, options. It'll work across the board. Just master these steps, follow this step by step, and you will absolutely kill this. In this video, I'm not just gonna dive into this strategy and show you how it's done. I'm also gonna show you some real examples of this working. I'm gonna show you guys how it'll work. I'll also show you guys the profits that you would make using this strategy. So stick through all the way to the end. Let's hop into this absolutely insane strategy. And let's just hope that the markets don't nerf this thing. Now you might be asking me, Frankie, why are you wearing these glasses? And I'm gonna say, I don't know. And my name's not even Frankie. But what I do know is that my inner circle has been absolutely freaking killing it. We are on an insane win streak right now. We've literally been milking the markets. If you want to trade live with me every single day, the same strategy that I'm going over in this video and all my other extremely profitable strategies, you get to trade it live with me every single morning. I'm there to answer your questions every single day. You get personally mentored by me. We have other extremely profitable coaches in there that I take their trades and I make an insane amount of money from their trades as well. We have a trading psychologist. We literally have everything you need to not just become a profitable, consistent trader, but to become a consistently profitable trader very, very fast, no matter if you're a complete beginner or someone that's more experienced. We have someone that just came in 2 months ago and they just got their second $25,000 payout after never trading before. So if you want to join my inner circle, spots are always full. We're increasing the price within a couple of days, I think a week and a half. So if you've ever been interested inside my inner circle or you think that that would benefit you, which it obviously will, click the link inside the description down below. Now let's get back into this absolutely insane strategy. All right, so step 1 right here is to go down to the 1 minute time frame. On this example, we're gonna be on an NQ chart, which is NAS 100. We're on an NQ chart here. We're here on the 1 minute time frame. You need to switch your candlesticks to Heikin-Ashi. This will only work with Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. So switch your candlesticks to Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. The next thing you're going to need to do, I already have this on my chart, but I'll do it just so you guys can see. Go up here to indicators and you want to type in EMA. And you want to press the first one up here titled Moving Average Exponential. Once you get it on your chart, you'll see it's this blue ugly line. I don't like that. And that's not the settings that we need. We need to go in there and change the settings. So hover over it in your indicator section over here. Or you can zoom in and double click the indicator right here and it'll bring up the settings. Now the first thing that I like to do, keep in mind this is personal preference. I don't like the blue color. So I change it to white. And that's, like I said, personal preference. You can change it to anything you want to. But we need to come on the input section over here. And next to length, change that 9 to 100. So we want a 100 period move EMA, exponential moving average, right here on our charts. And this is extremely important. I'll get into that a little bit later on. Okay, so now that we have our moving average on our charts, Now the next step is to actually start looking for buys. We're going to start looking for market structure below or above the VWAP. And it's very important that you know exactly what that means. So let's say this is our moving average. I keep saying VWAP, I actually mean moving average. Market structure basically means not just price crossing above our moving average, but we have a swing low and a swing high. This creating market structure above the VWAP shows us that we're now solidified above the moving average. I feel like I've said VWAP 100 million times. Anyways, this strategy also works on the VWAP, but I'm using the moving average exponential for this example because it also works very, very well on this. But like I said, you can use it on the VWAP. But this is not considered market structure. If price just breaks above it, that's not market structure. We need price to come down and then go back up again, and that is market structure. Same thing vice versa on the bottom of the moving average. We need price to come down below it, create a high point, and then keep going down again. That is market structure. And once we see market structure, either we see it below the moving average, that means we're only looking for sell opportunities. No matter if a buy opportunity pops up, if we're below the moving average, we need to ignore it. We need to only take sell opportunities. Vice versa when it comes to buys. If we're above the moving average right now, and we created market structure above the moving average, we're only looking for buy opportunities. It does not matter if a sell opportunity presents itself, we're only looking for buy opportunities. So once we have our buy opportunity or our sell opportunity, the next thing we're going to look for is a doji candlestick. A very clear example of a doji candlestick is something that looks like this. All a doji candlestick, let me change this so you can see this. All a doji candlestick is when we have long wick on the top and the bottom of a candlestick, preferably very equal. We don't want to see the top has a huge wick and then the bottom is really, really small. We want to see big wicks on the top and the bottom of the candlestick, as well as a small, skinny body. This is a perfect example of one. A bad example of one would be something like this, where we have a huge wick at the top, but a very, very small wick on the bottom, and the body of the candlestick is not small at all. This is not a doji. We need to see candlesticks that look like this. Another example is like this. Another example is right here. We have a bunch of examples right here, as you can see. They're all over. You just need to get used to seeing and understanding these dojis, being able to spot them out, because this is the crucial point, because these candlesticks, as soon as we see these doji candlesticks, that's when we're going to hop into trades. So once we then find our doji candlestick, and it has to be high volume. And what does that mean? That means the doji candlestick has to be big or regular in size compared to the candlesticks before it, the candlesticks within the last 3 to 5 candlesticks. So once we see that, we are waiting for that high volume doji candlestick, and then we're entering our trade and holding our trade for at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio or more. You can hold it longer, but keep in mind your win rate will go down the longer you hold the trade. If you go for a 1-to-1, the win rate is absolutely insane. But you can try and hold it for a 1.5-to-1 or 1-to-2, depending on the volume in the market and how confident you are in that downtrend or that uptrend once you're actually in the trade. Now, the most important thing is you're going to have to put your stop loss at the right area. And the right area, let's say in this example right here of this trade, is you need to put it above the doji candlestick that you entered on. If you enter the sell, let's say you enter the position here, your stop loss goes above the candlestick of where you entered, which should be that doji. And then all you're doing is adjusting your take profit until this number right here, this risk to reward ratio, says 1, at least a 1. That's how you take the trade. Now, we have to wait for a pullback before we see this doji. So I mentioned we need to see a doji, but we need to see something specific before we see that doji to let us know that price is actually going to reverse, because this entire strategy is based off of price reversing and going back in our direction. We all know that price does not just go straight down or just go straight up. Price always goes down, up a little bit, down, up a little bit, down, up a little bit. We're catching price when it goes up a little bit before it makes that down movement, that long down movement. You see, we're obviously in a downtrend here, and what's helping us see that we're in a downtrend is that moving average. That's why it's important that we only take sells below the moving average and we only take buys above the moving average, because that means that's, in this example where you see we're going down a lot, up a little bit, down a lot. That's showing that we're going down, and we don't want to hop in on this up a little bit. We want to hop in after the up a little bit, and we get that doji right up here, which solidifies rejection and reversal. We get that doji after that up a little bit, and we ride it down again. Now, what we need to see is that up a little bit. So what does that up a little bit look like? Simply on the 1 minute time frame, we're looking for a clean pullback of at least 2 candlesticks of the opposite color. Now, as you see, my selling candlesticks are red. My buying candlesticks are white. So for me, looking in a downtrend, I'm looking for my downtrend, obviously. Then I want to see my pullback be at least 2 clean candlesticks. Now, preferably it's more. Clean candlestick means we have these no bottom or no wick bottom candlesticks. We can have all these candlesticks right here, but we need at least 2 candlesticks that have no wick on the bottom of them. And that's for selling. Vice versa, if we're looking for buys, we want to see 2 candlesticks that have at least 2 candlesticks that have no wicks on the top of them. And that's our pullback. So once we again see we're in a downtrend, we're below the VWAP, we're selling down a bunch, we have at least 2 clean candlesticks. In this instance, we have 3. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. Then we'd look for a doji candlestick of the opposite color. I don't like taking it if it's the same color as the bull. Let's say in this example, if it gave us a white doji candlestick, I don't really want to enter on those. You can, but the win rate is not as high. It can wick you out a lot more frequently, and we do not want that. So what we'd look for would then be a red doji candlestick. Since we're going down, we had a pullback of our bullish candlesticks, which in my instance is white candlesticks. I then look for a red doji. And what that looks like is right here, where we had price obviously pull up, go down a little bit. We had price pull up here. We got at least our 2 clean candlesticks where you see no wicks on the top of the bottom. We got our doji candlestick, which is large in comparison to the candlesticks before it. We entered on that candlestick. Our entry is right at the wick of the bottom of that candlestick since we're looking for sales. Stop loss right above the candlestick that we entered into. And we went for a simple 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And I mentioned in the beginning of this video that this strategy and setup will usually be completed within 4 minutes. We were in this trade for literally 2 minutes before it hit full TP. And this is 64 ticks right here. If you used 1 contract on NQ, this right here would have made you $300 within 3 minutes, which I'm pretty sure most people would be happy about. Now, I have a bunch of different examples of this. We're going to go through a couple of these examples. We're going to go over ones that are not good, ones that you should avoid, why you should avoid those setups and versions of this strategy. And I'm going to show you the ones that you should really feel confident in, the ones that you should look for, the ones where if you see this on your chart, you should feel confident taking it. All right, so here's a great example of what not to do and what to look for. So we have price break below our moving average. Keep in mind, we got this small pullback to the upside, but there's a couple reasons why I wouldn't take this. First of all, we did not have at least 2 clean retracements to the upside. We did not have that pullback with at least 2 clean candlesticks. As you see here, it was just a lot of choppiness going on. Even though we had our pullback and then we had our doji that changed colors and its high volume, I would not have taken this because we did not have our clean pullback and we never made market structure below the moving average. Remember, market structure means we get that pullback and then we have that drop down. And then this next pullback, we can actually look for our doji candlestick to the downside because we already had our market structure created this time right here by that pullback. Now, if you look to the next one where I actually took this trade, we had the drop down. We're below the moving average. We had a pullback of at least 2 clean candlesticks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clean candlesticks. We had our doji candlestick right here with a change of color doji and a high volume one. As you see, this is very, very big candlestick compared to the candlesticks before it. We hopped into the trade right here. Stop loss right above the candlestick that we entered into. Went for a 1-to-1. This trade took 10 minutes and we ended up making this trade would have made $500 or $600 on this trade right here just using 1 contract. So making $600 within 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure most people would be happy with that, and that's on the minimum. You could have opened up 10 contracts and made $6,000 with this 1 trade. We have multiple different examples here. We have our pullback here, at least 2 clean candlesticks to the upside. Right here we have 1, 2, 3. We got our doji candlestick, which is good volume in comparison to the candlesticks before it. We hopped into the trade, stop loss right above the entry candlestick that we had. TP hit beautifully. This trade would have made another $300 within 2 minutes of us entering the trade. Now we can see a bunch of these as we're going through. We have our 2 candlesticks right here, pullback with our doji to the downside. Another, how much would this have made? $300 on this trade right here. We can see a bunch of these examples. Another pullback right here. We could have entered on this doji candlestick right here. Stop loss right above this high point. Going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, this trade would have won. We would have made over $400 on this trade within 6 minutes. And this is all in one day. So if you had taken all of these trades, and there's other trades that I probably missed throughout here, but if you had taken all these trades, you could have walked home with a minimum of a lot of money, multiple thousands of dollars. And all these trades were less than 15 minutes of you actually being inside of the trade. And that's why this strategy is actually extremely lethal. As you see, not a single losing trade on this day. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to get your hopes up saying that this strategy will never lose. All strategies lose. This strategy just tends to have a very, very high win rate if you're consistent and follow the exact steps that I give you. You cannot skip. You cannot look for buys when you're below the moving average. You cannot look for sells when you're above the moving average. You cannot not wait for that pullback of the clean candlesticks. You can't enter on anything that's not a doji. You have to follow the steps exactly how they're laid out, and this thing will absolutely kill it for you. So like I mentioned, this strategy will kill it on basically every single pair. We have gold right up here. This is a perfect example of what to do and what not to do. As you see, we have our moving average, and throughout this entire period, price is just going up and down inside of the moving average. It's not creating market structure above or below it. As you see, the moving average is kind of just getting flossed in between price, and that's not something we want to trade. We want to wait until we have clear market action and price action above or below the VWAP. As you see, we started to get it right here. We had a couple different trades here, but not one that would have given us an entry. We had our pullback right here, but we didn't get a doji candlestick that's white. We had another pullback here. We didn't get at least 2 candlesticks that were flat top, because remember, we're looking for buys since we're above the moving average. You see over here, we didn't get any entries, no entries, no entries, no entries, no entries. Now, when price came and broke below the moving average, we had a couple different opportunities. So we had price break below it. We had a swing high here. We also had a swing high here. So we saw market structure below our moving average. We had our pullback on this trade right here. Multiple beautiful candlesticks to the upside with no wicks on the bottom. We have our doji candlestick, but we did not take this trade because this doji candlestick is small in comparison to all the other candlesticks before it. Now, technically, this trade would have won. We would have won this trade right like this if we entered and went for our normal 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But we did not enter this trade specifically for the reason that the volume of this candlestick right here is not strong at all. This is a very, very, very low volume candlestick, and that's not what we want to trade. We cannot be confident in those trades. But on the other hand, we had this pullback. We had our 2 candlesticks or 3 candlesticks with no wicks on the bottom. We had our doji candlestick that was good volume. We entered into this trade. This trade would have been done in literally 1 minute. As soon as we hopped into it, the next candlestick would have hit our TP. We would have won the trade. We would have been done for the day, and we would have had a very, very simple trade. Again, we had another one. We had our pullback to the upside, multiple candlesticks with no bottom wick, and we got our doji candlestick, and this trade would have hit for our 1-to-1 with our stop loss right above this high. Now, keep in mind, this is an entire different pair. This is not what I was just on. This is gold. We can scroll back and see if we see some other setups, see some other opportunities, so I can show you guys some buy opportunities. Let's see if I could find a couple. Gold has been on a little bit of a tear to the downside, so it might be a little bit harder to find some examples. Here's one right here. So we're obviously above the moving average right here. We had our pullback. This would not have been something that I would have taken because we didn't have 2 of our clean candlesticks. So this is not something that I would have taken. But we did have a doji candlestick. We could have hopped in right here. But like I said, this breaks the rules. No matter if this trade would have won or not, this trade breaks the rules. Let me find some bullish trades for you guys so you guys can see some examples of when we're actually buying versus the selling examples that I've shown you guys already. All right, so here we go. Perfect example right here. We had price action already above our moving average, and you see price stopped right here above our moving average. We had our pullback. Tops are have no wick on them, which is good pullbacks. Then we had our doji, a beautiful doji candlestick that is great volume, great size compared to the candlesticks before it. We could have easily went and had our 1-to-1 or even further, but we're not going to be greedy. We had our 1-to-1. This trade right here would have made you a great amount of money within literally 2 minutes, which I don't think anybody's going to complain about making money in 2 minutes. But like I said, if you take the exact steps that I laid out inside this video, watch this video back until it is ingrained inside of your mind. If you need to, take every single step, put it on a sticky note, tape it on your computer screen so that you know exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for it. This strategy can absolutely change not just your life. Like I told you, it can change your family's life, your friend's life, and allow you to be able to literally print money from anywhere in the world at any time in the world. This strategy works no matter what time of the day it is. I prefer to do it when it's higher volume, but this can also work in London session, Asian session, New York session. No matter the session, this strategy will absolutely kill it. Now, if you want to be able to trade this strategy and the other strategies that I trade live every single day, you can join my inner circle. My inner circle is where you're able to trade live with me every single day. I'm there to answer your questions. You get personal mentorship directly from me and the other coaches inside of the inner circle. You get to be on our live calls that we have every single morning. Like I said, live trading and answering questions to make sure that not only you're able to follow our trades, but you're able to do it for yourself. Even if we take vacation or we stop trading, you're still able to use the exact same strategies that me and the other profitable coaches use every single day. You also get access to our trading psychologist so you can master the mental game when it comes to trading, which is literally the hardest part when it comes to trading. I literally created the inner circle to be everything that I needed 8 years ago when I first started off trading. And I've been able to build it and been able to change multiple people's lives. It's amazing to be able to see people send me messages saying they made $25,000 this month, $40,000 within the past 2 months. Even as complete beginners, someone said that they got a $40,000 payout after 2 months of being inside my inner circle after they knew absolutely nothing about trading. So I've literally created my inner circle to be able to be that thing that will not just help you make money, but accelerate your growth to become a profitable independent trader while you're also able to copy and trade live with us each and every day. If that sounds interesting to you, click the link inside the description down below. Spots are always filled. We're actually increasing them in price in a week and a half. So if it is something that interests you, I'd highly suggest you get on it right now. Now, this strategy is an absolutely freaking insane strategy. This thing will literally kill it for you if you implement